Back to my mental health and crime channel. My name is Huda London. I'm a licensed cognitive behavior therapist, that's a CBT therapist, and a licensed mental health counselor. Please like, share, and subscribe if you enjoy the contents in this channel. I'd like to go back on the case of Nicola Bulley, who was reported missing on the 27th of January 2023. She was last seen at 9:10 near the River Tor Park. She walked from the primary school where she parked her car and she sent her daughters to school, and then she walked down Garston Road, and then she walked towards the River Tor Park. All those places do not have CCTV footages and they're blind spots. And then later on, Nicola allegedly, because there's separate timelinings, Nicola was last seen. Later on, they said she was last seen at the River Tor Park at 9:10, but then later on, they said that Nicola was last seen at the upper field and the lower field. She was seen by a witness at 9:10, so Nicola couldn't have been in two places at one time. It's impossible for her to be at 9:10 at the 9:10 in the morning on the 27th of January near the River Tor Park, and she cannot be at 9:10 at the upper field. That is impossible. So one of the timelinings are totally wrong, and I always go by the first timelining, that is the River Tor Park at 9:10. Later on, it became 9:15 even. So there's been a lot going on in this case. This interview is the interview that interests me a lot with Nicola's friends, especially Nicola's friend on the right-hand side, Emma White, the one with the cap or the hat or whatever you call it. When you look at this picture, notice one thing about Emma. Her hair is light blonde, as light as Heather Gibson, the one on the left. And this whole interview is a bit sus for me. Allegedly, this is for entertainment purpose only. So let me start this interview.
They've been walking on different routes around the River Wire, and that's because, as I heard from some of Nicola's closest friends, that they can't give up hope, and because there are, of course, two little girls at home that want their mummy home.
Nikki is just a lovely human being inside and out, living a normal life, dropping the children off at school, going on a daily walk, things planned, going out the weekend, seeing friends and family. Yeah, you just can't make sense that this is actually happening, and here we are.
And I suppose knowing Nikki and what type of person she is, a mum and a partner, this is out of character.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Nikki, as you said, we're a rural village. We're just normal.
To start with, she says Nikki is a lovely human being, which is completely fine. That is what you're supposed to say. Obviously, if someone is missing, you can't say anything else but to say the most important thing, the description where the person was lost. And if you're going to say anything about someone, let's be honest, you can't say anything bad. So besides that, she jumps straight away to it's like she wants to convince us this is for entertainment purpose only, because she automatically says, oh, we are a small village and we are a normal village. It sounds very defensive, like somebody said that you're an abnormal village. And like she keeps on mentioning that they're a small village, like nothing can happen in small villages. Things can happen, crimes can happen allegedly, and third-party scenarios and theories can happen everywhere. So it's like she's trying to get off the point. She's not getting directly to the point. And not only that, it seems like not besides the defensive mode and the defensive mechanism that I see around, not only besides of that, look at the whole structure of the way she's talking in the interview. She doesn't look at the camera directly. This is my personal opinion only. It seems like, I don't know, Emma talks a lot in most of the interviews, and this interview looks to me like she doesn't have a lot of confidence. It's like something must have just happened a couple of days ago, because this interview is a couple of days after Nicola Bulley was reported missing. So for someone to start with, we are a small village and we like we are just a small normal village and all, it sounds very defensive. Instead of her going directly to the point and saying, listen, Nikki is my best friend. We've lost our best friend. We don't know what's happened to Nicola. Nicola was wearing this and this and this. She was wearing that and that shoes. Nicola had this and this, maybe like a birthmark, or you would automatically notice Nicola because she has the Essex accent, or like talk more about the description about what you're trying to get across, because you're lucky to have airtime now, Emma and Heather. So it's about using it to get the main points across so that people can help you find your friend and help you to find Nicola Bulley, the 45-year-old mother for her daughters, like you seem to say that you're here to help for the daughters. But you seem to be allegedly talking more about how Paul feels, like Paul is some kind of Superman. It's always about Paul's feelings. Even when you're asked about the girls, it's always about the girls want this and this, and Paul, you can imagine, he has to be so strong for the family, and yeah, we do understand Paul has no choice but to be strong for his family. But Paul even said it from the first interview he did near the river. He said, all I can think about is my little girls. What happened to the girls is mother, the older girl that brought the two lovely girls to the world. Something is not right with this case, and this is all for entertainment purpose only. Notice Emma's hair color. That's the reason that that's why I went and got this interview from day one. Because Emma's hair color is light, highlight blonde. And this was a couple of days after Nicola went missing. So what made Emma change her hair color is interesting. Could she have allegedly been trying to impostor someone else? Allegedly?
Being inside and out, living a normal life, dropping the children off at school, going on a daily walk, things planned, going out the weekend, seeing friends and family. Yeah, you just can't make sense that this is actually happening and here we are.
And I suppose knowing Nikki and what type of person she is, a mum and a partner, this is out of character?
Yeah, definitely, yeah. Nikki, as you said, we're a rural village, we're just normal people.
There goes Emma once again, talking about a normal village. It's a rural village, it's a normal village. It's a normal village that we all go out on walks, living our daily life, like somebody accused, say, Michael's Lancashire being an abnormal village. Sounds very defensive to me. She ain't looking at the camera like Heather Gibson is looking at the camera. Yeah. That's what she said. And even her breathing sounds a bit more heavy. I'm sure it's cold outside, everything. It's muddy, we can see the background from here. But it sounds very, very defensive. She hardly talks about Nicola, then she starts talking about Paul and Paul's feelings as usual.
Definitely, yeah. Nikki, as you said, we're a rural village, we're just normal people, simple lives. Yeah, it's completely out of character, yeah.
And then just on the point about the family, how is the family coping at this point? You're quite close to the family.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got children at the same school, and that's how our relationship began.
When she was asked about the family, and the minute she started talking about the children in the same school, I don't know if she just had that nudge to just itch her hair, or maybe is that sometimes when you ask questions that you feel uncomfortable answering, or that you're not completely sure that you want to answer the question, you start finding a place to touch, like people who are OCD, some people pull their hair or scratch their hair or bite their nails or something. It was just like it happened in a strange way. But look at her eyes. Look at how white Emma's eyes is. It looks like Heather Gibson allegedly seems to be always sad and thinking. You can see her thoughts are, I don't know what she's thinking about. I don't even want to go there. How about that? She must be thinking, there goes Emma talking about Paul again, allegedly. And it is the truth. That's all she talks about. But look at her eyes. Emma's eyes, how white they are. Not even one teardrop. Why is she dressed so much like Nicola? Nicola used to wear these caps or hats and all that. It wasn't Emma. Why does she have... I've never seen Emma's hair that light. That is almost like a bleach blonde. So what was she trying? Why did she have that hair color? I know people can say she has the right to have whatever hair color she wants, but kind of suspicious what a timing, allegedly. Let her continue.
Looking after his family, supporting the girls. Yeah, imagine the roller coaster he's going on, living this, as he says, perpetual nightmare. So you can put yourselves in those shoes and think the roller coaster they are going on. And we've got to be here again as a community to support that, and that's why we are out here in conditions like this, just trying to find any clues we can.
We are just trying to hold on to the hope. That's what's keeping us going. Knowing that her two little girls are at home, missing mummy, and knowing that mummy is missing is what's driving us forward.
And now let me be fair and let me be honest. What Heather Gibson said is how you're supposed to speak when you have a friend missing. I know there's no rules or procedures how to speak, but that is how you expect someone. Those are the words that should be coming out of your mouth. We are here to find her, and that is what is bringing us together, and like a teamwork. Big difference between these two people's interview.
Knowing that her two little girls are at home, missing mummy, and knowing that mummy is missing is what's driving us forward. We know that knowing Nikki, her family are everything, and we know without a doubt that if she could be at home with them, that's where she'd be.
Heather Gibson said a very beautiful thing, and that is what, those are the lines of words that I expect Emma White and Paul to be using. Heather said the right words, that bringing her home for her family is the reason we're here. It's like she's keeping on talking about unity. Each and every interview that Heather has made, Heather has been, all the interviews that she's in, you can see the more genuine way. And she was she's the organizer of the searches, and so is Emma White.
Hope. That's what's keeping us going. Knowing that her two little girls are at home, missing mummy, and knowing that mummy is missing is what's driving us forward. We know that knowing Nikki, her family are everything, and we know without a doubt that if she could be at home with them, that's where she'd be.
That interview, the previous interview, was a couple of days after Nicola was reported missing. Now let's watch the second week, 2 weeks after Nicola was reported missing. Look at how confident Emma is, allegedly.
Today, it's 2 weeks since Nikki has gone missing. The community is once again united and come forth to try and drive some information from this very gate. This is the gate that Nikki's gone into. We've got no dash cam footage, no visual people, so the police are crying out for any information on this gate and this part of the road, which is Garstang Road and St Michael's on Wire.
What has it been like for the family and friends, obviously the last 2 weeks?
Yeah, as you can imagine, it's this roller coaster of emotions. We have hope there, we have sadness.
Notice how there's still no empathy, no emotion, no tears, no crying out for Nicola whatsoever. The hair color has changed, or I could be wrong, but it seems to be a bit darker. The hairstyle has even changed. But she has more confidence in this interview. Definitely.
Today, it's 2 weeks since Nikki has gone missing. The community is once again united and come forth to try and drive some information from this very gate. This is the gate that Nikki's gone into. We've got no dash cam footage, no visual people, so the police are crying out for any information on this gate and this part of the road, which is Garstang Road and St Michael's on.
See, that's why it's important that we do active listening. She said she is Nicola's friend, so she said Nikki has gone missing between this part and the River Tour Park gate. She said there's no dash cameras, there's no footages, so she knows exactly what's a 411 because there's no footages, allegedly. But what I'm trying to show you with this is let's not forget when they tell us that Nicola was last seen at 9:10 by the old guy near the lower field or the upper field. That's untrue because we know that Nicola was last seen at 9:10 at the River Tour Park. And this is confirmation because her friend Emma was there from the start. Emma and Heather Gibson are organizing the searches. I'll rewind it a bit.
It's 2 weeks since Nikki has gone missing. The community has once again united and come forth to try and drive some information from this very gate. This is the gate that Nikki's gone into. We've got no dash cam footage, no visual people, so the police are crying out for any information on this gate and this part of the road, which is Garstang Road and St Michael's on Wire.
What has it been like for the family and friends, obviously the last 2 weeks?
Yeah, as you can imagine, it's this roller coaster of emotions. We have hope there, we have sadness, it's torture, it's despair, it's frustration. You name those emotions.
She said you can name those emotions and you don't even see one of the emotions in her eyes. No tears, no sadness, no bitterness, no anger, no frustration, no happiness. I don't see one emotion. And I'm talking about each and every interview. There's only one interview that she just cries for a second and a half, or half a second. I'll remind you.
2 weeks.
Yeah, as you can imagine, it's this roller coaster of emotions. We have hope there, we have sadness, it's torture, it's despair, it's frustration. You name those emotions. I said today I'm almost feeling a little bit numb today. 2 weeks on, but we still have that hope that today will bring something. We can bring those girls home to Paul and Nicky home.
And how are Paul and the girls holding up?
Again, Paul's going to put a very brave face on for those girls, hasn't he?
Look at the excitement when she's asked about Paul. Oh, Paul has been putting on a brave face. He's a hero. Sorry to say that, but that's the truth. Emma speaks more about Paul than about the person who's actually missing. That's her best friend, Nicola. That is one of the reasons this whole case is full of red flags. But let's hear how Paul is feeling.
So, Paul and Nicky home.
And how are Paul and the girls holding up?
Again, Paul's going to put a very brave face on for those girls, hasn't he? Where he can't crumble as well. When Mummy's missing, Paul's going to remain very strong for them. But he's taking each day as it comes. Obviously, we're keeping normality, the children at school. So Paul has that downtime to sadly think and reflect on what's going on.
Right.
Did you actually hear what Emma White said? She said Paul is feeling down and he gets a bit time. That's the only time he gets to sit and reflect on everything. What is there to reflect about? Why doesn't he take the time to go search for his missing partner? That is actually what is the biggest red flag, that he hasn't been part of the searches. And she's sitting here defending him and how he feels and calling him a hero. Isn't Nicola supposed to be a friend, Emma? Is Nicola your friend or is Paul your friend?
It comes, obviously, we're keeping normality, the children at school. So Paul has that downtime to sadly think and reflect on what's going on.